You're tuned to Apocalypse Radio.
You are tuned to Heaven Sent with me, James Sent, on Apocalypse News Radio. With me in the studio, we have Johnny Whiplash, one of the very few remaining Conservative MPs, to talk about the very slow-going Tory leadership campaign. Johnny, welcome.
Hello, James. Thank you very much for having me.
Why is this taking so long? My goodness.
Well, I mean, good things come to those who wait, first of all, James, but I think it's important...
It's very convenient.
I think it's important that after the last election, which, you know, we were narrowly pipped to the post...
You were smashed to pieces by rubbish people.
We were pipped to the post, and I think it's important that we...
You got beaten by losers. How did you manage it?
It's important that we, as a party, take some time away and lick our wounds and learn the lessons that need to be learned. And so we need to take our time and find the correct candidate to move forwards, as a party and as a country.
I will go with you in the sense that nobody's really paying attention, so you could take...
I did not say that.
However, for people like me in broadcasting, it gets terribly boring day after day.
Well, I'm afraid, James, I'm afraid, James, that we as a party work for the British people and not
anymore.
For the broadcasters.
Not anymore. You're working for yourselves in opposition.
Well, we're still a voice representing the British people, James. We're still working hard every day to challenge the current Labour government.
Who exactly are you representing here?
Well,
because you abandoned your core vote to try and win over a few Labour people who will always hate you because of Maggie Thatcher shutting their minds or something.
God bless her soul.
Right, exactly. So you're trying to appeal to people who hate your guts, and in this next moment you lose all the people who would actually vote for you by talking right and governing left.
See, James, I think throwing words out like hate is the sort of rhetoric that we're really working hard to remove
that you were trying to
politics.
put people in prison for.
And the thing that we need to do as a party
is to put people in prison
to operate as the British people would see fit if we were government and challenge the bad ideas that we're seeing day after day being put out there by the Labour Party. It's key.
Well, this is what's so awful. This is what's so awful. They are a load of rubbish, and you lost to them. That's the disaster. Anyway, let's get back to this contest. Let's get back to this contest. We got four people. We got Bobby Jenrick. We got Tommy Tugendhat.
Excellent. Yes.
We got James Cleverly, and we got
fine young man.
Kemi Badenoch.
Yes.
All right. These are the four. Three men and one woman.
Very talented people, each in their own right.
Oh, right, okay, but who are you backing? Because you're one of the very few MPs left. Mm-hmm. So we need an MP's vote to decide on who will be the leader. So who are you backing? Because you've been very coy up to this point.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, James, but I do feel like it wouldn't be appropriate of me on national radio to announce who I may or may not be backing, and especially as I'm sure you remember, I stood in the preliminary rounds of this contest.
I barely remember it. It was extremely brief.
Well, I had to stand down because my wife got quite a bad cold. So
is she better now?
She's made a remarkable recovery, but we are still as a family working through that. So I don't want to put my name out there as supporting any particular candidate at this time, and I hope that I can rely on your discretion and your kindness in that matter.
Well, this is going out on the radio, so I can only be as discreet as that will allow me to be, but I don't really understand why you won't back one of them. Plenty of other MPs have come out backing others.
Any one of the remaining four candidates would do an excellent job as Prime Minister, James, and would no doubt have a fantastic cabinet around them,
yes, exactly.
They would
are you angling for
do
a shadow
fine
job
of leading the country.
You're hedging your bets.
I don't know.
Any of the four
honestly,
wins,
James, I don't know what you mean, and I don't know what you're implying.
Any of the four wins, you get a plum shadow job.
Any of the four would do an excellent job, a much better job than Sir Keir Starmer is doing.
What would you like? Shadow defence, shadow foreign secretary. That would be good, wouldn't it? Hey. Up against David Lammy, that'd be a free ride. The man doesn't know what he's doing.
Walk in the park, really.
Yeah, it would be pretty fantastic. This is what you're doing. You're not.
James,
making any
that
enemies.
That was a hypothetical. That was purely hypothetical. I'm just merely here to demonstrate my unwavering support for whichever candidate it is that is chosen as the leader moving forward.
What is the point of the Tory party? We have seen them abandon their core vote, which stayed at home. They didn't vote Labour, they didn't vote Lib Dem, they just didn't vote for anybody. Some of them went to Reform, as we know. Whereabouts on the political spectrum do you see a successful Tory party sitting now?
Well, it's a difficult question, James, and one that, as a party, we have to face. And I'll answer it thusly. So I think it's important, as a party, to learn the lessons from the previous election. And through that, I believe that we need to cast a broad net and engage with as many different voters as possible. So I feel like the most sensible thing to do in this situation would be to take a slight shimmy to the centre to try and then reach our loving arms as wide as possible around the British people. So I think we can appeal to a broad range of voters at the next election, James.
You've learned nothing. You've learned nothing. Those people are already voting flipping Lib Dem. What about someone who's got a right wing? Or even centre-right.
The plan, James.
Who do they vote for?
They can vote for us, James. We are their representative in Parliament.
Only by name. Conservative by name, but not by nature. This is the problem. That's why they're flocking to Nigel Farage and his Reform Party.
Reform are a flash in the pan, James. They will come and go like the tide. And once they've gone out to the ocean, their voters will be left stranded in the sand, hands reaching to the heavens, looking for a party that will reabsorb them with tender love and care, that party is the Conservative Party.
So all the people out there who are disillusioned with the Tories can look forward to a loving reabsorption.
Absolutely, James. Yes, that's what I was running on in the leadership contest, and that is the message that I am putting forward now.
A loving reabsorption. Okay, that sounds utterly ridiculous. Thank you, Johnny Whiplash, for coming in. We'll be back after these messages.